I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our first item on the agenda is our special presentation from the folks at Aramark, and I'm sorry, I've already forgot your names.
That's okay, we'll introduce ourselves. So, I'm Natalie Turner, General Manager for Southern Indiana, and Jennifer Rice, which is our General Manager from Lebanon, just north of Indianapolis area. And so that this will all be on the presentation. So it's going to be a little interactive for you guys. We're going to pass out a few things for you as we go through it in our presentation, just so you're aware. So again, thank you for allowing us to be here. I really appreciate it. So thank you for everybody. Few questions that you guys have submitted to us, and we're actually going to answer those through our presentation. And then at the very end, if you guys have any further questions or whatever, we'll be happy to answer those along the ways too. Like I said, I'm Natalie Turner, General Manager for Aramark in the Southern Indiana area. This is Jennifer Rice out of Lebanon. This first screenshot here is basically just a snapshot of what Aramark is in the state of Indiana. To your far right is our Indiana K-12 districts. They start with actually the closest to you guys here at North Posey. So as you see, 12,699 total clients, nearly 2,200 employees strong, again, just in the state of Indiana for us. So what we did is we just wanted to outline all the questions for you. We'll give you guys an opportunity to kind of digest it as we go through it. So the first question that was submitted to us is basically, how is a vendor ran food service different from the traditional food manager model?
We're going to talk a little bit about our dining experiences. We do have 2 regional chefs that we use for our state. We have 2 regional dietitians for the state. We also have 2 assistant dietitians. That is helpful. We have made-to-order options, different options that we have. We have a wellness program. We have a marketing team. We have a viewpoint survey. Next slide. Our high school food service, our food court concept, we feature a Mexican bar, a grill, our pizza station, and our deli bar. And it's a main plate. We have a main plate, which is like your home style line. That is kind of our high school concepts. Our elementary, we have Cool Star Cafe, which is nice, bright, inviting for the students. We also have a wellness program, Ace, who is a little cute little fox. He is our nutritional mascot. He also visits from time to time, comes in. He also is into fitness. So he does a lot of fitness. I don't know where to stand. And then Ace has monthly promotions, and we do a breakfast club because breakfast is really a big start of the day for the kids. Sometimes we breakfast in the classroom. We'll have breakfast carts. But Ace has a nice little club where the kids get to come in, and sometimes we'll get to like have a coloring sheet to color, or they'll give little giveaways. So it's really nice to encourage kids, especially our free and reduced kids, because we don't know what they had the night before. So we want to make sure that they're eating a good breakfast. Secondary, which is our middle school, we have Times, which is our marketing program there. We also have Wellness and Healthy for Life. And in your packet, there is a Healthy for Life right there. It kind of helps the kids. It talks about getting enough sleep, what to eat, sometimes drinking enough water, maybe getting outside of sitting, watching TV. As we know, the younger generation is into technology. Get out, play a little sports. So that's kind of what we hit on our secondary programs. We do catering. We do a lot of catering. Like I said, I'm a food service director. I've been with Aramark 25 years. I know you don't look it, but I have been. I want to let you know, we do a lot. So we can do anywhere from football dinners to Kiwanis Club to Lions Club to just 25 box lunches to 5 people. We do a lot of catering. It's something that is kind of extra income for the client. Also kind of gives the employees extra time, extra hours, so that we do a lot of catering. Menu options, we do a lot of made to order stations, for example, deli bars, salad. Our grab and go options, which you'll see right here, is a lot of our grab and go options. This is something we do K through 12. It's like a little pizza pack. We can't say Lunchable, but I just did. So we call them our packables. It has everything they need. They go through the line. All they have to pick up is a milk if they want. If they don't, it still meets everything. Meets all the compliance. They can grab and go. Some kids, a lot of reasons why they pack, they don't want to wait in line, as we know, lines. So they can go through and grab it. Here is our muffin one. It's got the muffin with the milk. It's got fresh fruit, fresh veggie, a cranberries, and a cheese stick. That's a complete meal.
And the grab and goes are just an option.
Yes.
You have additional.
It's additional. So for example, you have your traditional lunch, which could be Salisbury steak, chicken and noodles, but you can have this as an option too. So you can have you can have these two options in your main lunch. Yes. And here is the grab and go that we do at the middle school and high school. Can be done at elementary. Everything's complete. It has a flatbread turkey, carrot sticks in there. We put a bag of chips, apple in there, and it's another option. They can just grab it and go. Yeah. Those are just a few of our, and that's K-12, just all the kids. I will tell you, some of these are more successful at some levels than it is at a different level. You know, my high school doesn't take these well, but my middle school, my elementary is taking like crazy. Yeah, it just all depends on the area. Kids like it. We also have we have little stickers that we'll put on it too. Fuel is something that we do. Oh, I'm sorry to talk about our parfaits. We have our yogurt parfaits, which are government berries with yogurt. And then the kids can grab those too as an option. And then we have our smoothies, which is strawberries we use from the commodity. And then it's yogurt with a little orange juice and a banana. And it's also a meal, an option.
And everything is consumable, so if you guys would like to open anything, try anything, take it home, please do so.
Yeah. So those are just a few choices that's available. Give me a straw.
I will go for it.
Yeah, there you go. We call fuel. Fuel is something that on top of everything else, we just do it once a month. Sometimes I will tell you the last one that the kids liked. I know you're gonna think it's weird, but we did a pizza with French fries on it. You're gonna think, ooh, no, I'm telling you, the kids thought it was cool. We sampled it the week before, then the week we did the fuel week. The kids got to purchase it, but we always do sample the item. Some of the items is a chicken and cheese griller, which is like a flatbread. The spicy Thai chicken bowl, which is very popular. It's a bowl. We'll sample it the week before, and then we run it a couple weeks. Sometimes it's kind of cool to see what the kids are be amazed. Just like, oh, our kids won't eat it, and then all of a sudden they're eating it. It's just a different way to bring different items to the school lunch. You kind of jazz it up a little. That's pretty much, and it's our fuel. We also are rolling out elementary fuel this year. It's a brand new concept for us, so for a week we'll kind of run something different for the elementary kids, and we have posters. We have different things to let if you have computer or TV screens in your area, we run it through that. We do it on the announcements, let them know that it's coming. Yeah. Next slide. Viewpoint survey. I'm a big viewpoint survey person. I love this. This is we do it through the secondary. We send out, it's a computer, the kids get on it, they critique from the staff to the food, to the options, to the menu, the breakfast, everything we have. Then they get to say their point, you know, what they like, what they don't like. They get to make comments, and then Aramark puts it together and sends us the results. And I love it because at London, I do it every year. And they always have some great ideas. Of course, you get your kid, it's a kid's a kid. But you get a concept like, this is how, I'll be honest, how kind of this came about for us is some of the kids said, we want more grab and go. Okay, we'll bring you more grab and go. What do you want? What do you want? They said, we like to have something because we don't want to wait in line. Or we want something we can just get up and go. And that's kind of how the concepts, we listen to the kids. And that's our first priority is the students and staff, what they want. This is where Natalie takes that up.
So if we move on into the second question that was given to us, we talk about the financial impact of how we are a little bit different from the self-op model. And basically, this is just a snapshot of our budget that was actually in the proposal. Yes, please help yourself, and there's more over here too. So, so this is just a snapshot of where our proposal goes for you. One thing with going with a food service management company like ourselves is we offer national volume discounts. easily put, those are rebates. So that money, we have purchasing power because we purchase from the same vendors all over the country. So it gives us the opportunity to go to Cisco as one of our vendors that we purchase from. We go to them and say, we're going to order 100,000 cases of chicken nuggets. So then our team works with their team and comes up with a pricing agreement. So how we have proposed this for North Posey is that all of those rebates go back into your guys' pocket. So we have declared that we will have a guarantee. I'm not sure that it's $45,000, but what we are looking for is $87,000 that we feel is going to be returned back to North Posey into your budget. If you look up here alone, $31,826 is actually what we're anticipating rebates going back into your pocket. So I'd like to also highlight, where's that? Right here. So Aramark's total fees, and this is going to be our cost to North Posey, is $28,000. So basically your rebates are going to be higher than the actual fees that you're going to pay to Aramark with the budget that we've put together for you. Also, another thing that we like to do is put together that guarantee. And I apologize, I'm pretty certain it's $45,000 in your proposal, but we are guaranteeing that you're going to return at least $45,000 in our first year back to the school district. And we'll answer a question a little bit later because I know one of the questions said, how does that fluctuate from year to year? So you can go to the next slide, please.
Yeah, on our guaranteed in the initial proposal was $87,059.
Okay, so it is actually the 87,000. Okay, perfect. So I'm sorry I misspoke there. So again, this leads into how does the renewal of the contract work? So basically the RFP process is good for 5 years. So you only have to go out to bid for 5 years or every 5 years, but then you have 1 year contract renewals each year. And so what we will do is we will sit down with the administration team. We'll talk about financials. We'll talk about everything that happened in that year. And then we'll discuss things like the reimbursement rates for the next year. We'll discuss where we want to go with lunch prices. You know, with the USDA putting out the paid lunch equity tool, we'll discuss that. We'll run that through and make sure if we need to increase lunch prices due to it being a mandatory from the USDA, then we'll discuss that. If we want to increase our employee pay scale, we'll discuss those kind of things. If there's any money that we want to add back into your program, then we'll discuss that. So after we determine all of that, then that's where we will sit down and say, okay, this year your guarantee may be only $80,000 because we want to invest $7,000 back into your program. But that'll be a mutual discussion between the administration and us. Okay. So next, we talked about, or we were asked if we hire locally for the food service manager position. Absolutely, yes. I mean, that is a done deal. I think one of the things that scares people the most about a food service management company is that they will come in and they will fire everybody and bring their own staff in. I'm only speaking for Aramark. That doesn't happen. That is not something that we're looking for, but absolutely, we will recruit from your local community. Any person that we bring in, we will meet with the administration. We would like for the administration and board to go through an interview process if they wish to do that. Or if they say, no, we just want you to take care of it, then that's what we'll do as well. It's definitely a partnership. And keep in mind through this whole presentation is anything that we do, we will customize it to North Posey. So what may happen in Northern Indiana doesn't necessarily happen at North Posey. Okay, so keep that in mind throughout the whole program as well. And then we have a training program where we like to develop our people. We always like to hire from within. So that will be part of the program. And if somebody doesn't want to be promoted into the next spot, that's perfect too, because we also need those people. So we just want everybody to know that the sky is the limit if you choose to do that. But then we go through a WEST program, and basically it's how to engage our customers. So how are we going to engage our students when they come to see us? And basically we want to welcome them. We want to make sure that they want to come see us. We're going to engage them. We're going to talk to them about how their day is, what's going on in their life, showing that we care. And then smile, friendly smile. We want to make sure that everybody knows that you're not going to get this grumpy person serving you your food. And then finally, we just like to make sure that our customers, AKA our students, our staff, our community, knows that we thank them and that we want them to come back and continue to purchase with us. we go on this one? Okay.
Your experiences there, the question is the difficulties with Aramark workers being paid by Aramark and being paid by the district. Well, first of all, it's all about the kids. We work together as a team. Like I said, I've been a food service director for 25 years. I've opened many accounts. It is nerve-wracking when you think a management company comes in because everybody gets nervous. It's a partnership. It's what's best for the kids. We treat I can speak for Aramark, but now they said we treat everybody fairly. As you know, it's hard to find people. So we don't want anybody to leave. We want everybody to stay and everybody to be on board. So I am the only Aramark employee, and we have I have only district employees. We have some accounts where it's a mix Aramark and district employees, but I've never seen any issues or any problems. We all work together to do what's best for the student and the staff and to keep improving our food service program. Like I said, I opened many accounts. East Gibson's an account. Everybody gets a little nervous. We just work together as a team and we work with administration. It's a partnership, like Natalie said. So that's how we do it. In North Posey, the same thing. It's a partnership. We're going to do it. We're going to do the best. We're going to do the best food service program. So everybody around is going to be jealous of what you got because I'm a competitive person. So I like
So you're saying your experience, that's been a non-issue.
no issue, seriously. And it's very, when anything change, everybody's nervous. I get nervous when I get a new boss, but nothing changes. It's the same. We might show you a little bit better way to do it. We might show you a little bit of quicker way. We might show you a little, like how to do presentation. Nothing you're doing is wrong. It's just how to just bring it together. And we have buying rights. We have buying powers. We can get the food cheaper for you. We can show you, we can bring utensils. Let's say you have an oven you need, or let's say you need a well. We bring it. We all work together to make your program better. We're not out to get anybody. We're not out to lose anybody. It's a partnership. Yeah. So,
Okay. Well, I'm just going to speak. I have a couple accounts that actually has both Aramark employees and district employees. And so, no, I've never experienced that problem. I've been with Aramark 13 years myself, never experienced that problem. Sometimes in the beginning, it is touch and go because it is a change. Change is hard for a lot of people. So, but one thing that we like to do also with having district employees is that we fight for them too. And I can tell you in all my experiences as well, I went into a location and they hadn't had a raise in over 5 years. And I fought and fought and fought, district employees fought and fought and fought, and we finally got them a raise. So, like Jennifer said, we're there, we're a team. I mean, and that's the bottom line. You just got to know, one thing coming into North Posey, all of your current staff is going to be the experts at North Posey because we're not going to know anything. But we can take our knowledge of what we know and come in and say, oh goodness, you can skip this step and make it better here, or I like how you did that, so let's enhance it here. So again, it's just that partnership that we really want to make sure that everybody understands that it's a true partnership. It's not North Posey against Aramark or Aramark against North Posey. It's a partnership.
Okay, does Aramark abide by federal regulations? Absolutely, we have to. We have to, because the USDA, we get audited, we get reviews, we get State Board of Accounts. Absolutely, I've been through many audits, many audits. Aramark has our own menu planning software. So actually our menus, we customize it to a Posey, but we have a system we put it in that tells us how many fat grams, calories, everything. We have our own recipes, our own production. I don't know how you're doing production now, but we have a system that it prints it out for you. Here's your papers, you do it, we put it in the system, it all does it for you, analyzes it and everything for you. So we do have our own system. We do have to follow all the guidelines. We do have a chef, like I said, in the area. I think that one works out of Natalie's office. So if we ever have any questions, we ask him. He's down in Greater Clark County. So we follow all the guidelines. People say, well, can we have more salt? Well, no, you can't have more salt because we wouldn't be following the guidelines. I'm sorry. Can we have this? What's the next one? Salt. The other one is, can we have fried foods? Well, no, you can't have fried foods. We have to follow the guidelines. You can't have fried foods. You can't have fried, stuff. So we do follow guidelines, absolutely. And the dietary requirements, because we're held accountable just like North Posey, we held accountable. Like I said, we have chefs that's inspired. He creates all of our recipes. We follow all the guidelines. We have all of our providers, they take the salt, the sugar out, everything that we need to make our menus compliant. free and reduced lunch verification reporting. It all depends what North Posey wants. At my school district, I do all the free and reduced applications, I do all the verifying, I do all that. I think it all depends. Now these contracts will be different. You say, look, I want you to do the free and reduced applications, I want you to verify, I want you to report it, absolutely, we'll be happy to do that for you. It just all depends what you set in your contract, what you want from us.
And monthly claims, that goes for anything. So free and reduced applications, monthly claims, verification,
AFR
annual financial
reports.
report. So I have a clerk at Greater Clark that, she does the start of it, and then we all work together to finish it. So it doesn't matter. And that was probably about 5 or 7 years ago. Management companies actually weren't able to do anything with free and reduced. And now the state has come in and said, or the USDA has now come in and said that yes, that food service management companies can help with that process. So absolutely, we will do that.
And when we come in, we look at it as if every year we're getting an audit. That's how I look at it every year. We look at we're getting an audit. We want to make sure we got the wellness policy. We want to make sure we got our free and reduced. We want to make sure we verify. We got our annual report. You know, as you know, the USDA changes daily. I mean, we don't even know what's going to happen until July 1. So we're right there with you. It's whatever you need from us. You got our support. Yep. And then that's all the questions. Yeah.
What?
I'm just going to eat some of the food.
Yeah.
I didn't have supper.
Right.
So how do you monitor on, I know you mentioned the survey, the viewpoint survey, I think you said, so is that what you use to monitor the, I guess, the
We do.
success or the
Yes,
the
yes,
feedback of
and
it?
we do it every year. And what we do is usually do it, we change it. We usually do it sometimes December, the results come out in February. That's where we look and see what the kids say, the staff can take it. And that's where we march. We do it every year.
So it's only once a year?
Once a year. But I will tell you, they notice the difference, and I always let the kids know. Aramark always lets the kids know, look, this is what you wanted, this is what you asked for, we brought it to you. So they know we just didn't overlook it. And I'll do a results, and we can come back to the board. It has a page on there that says, hey, this is what we found out. We'll do a presentation for you when we get our results. This is what we treat our staff. It's amazing to hear what the kids have to say about the staff. It's really interesting. You'd be amazed, but you think, oh, they don't even know I'm here. Yeah, they do. They know when you smile. They know when you don't smile. You'll be amazed at the comments that the kids make about staff, the food too. So we look, once the survey's done, we get our results, we come to the board, we show you what you got.
We talk about too, in our presentation was a secondary survey. We also have, and I don't know if you run this, but we also have an elementary survey that we do as well. That is, the kids actually do it, which is really cool. And if you think about what the kids like to do, it's texting or whatever, and they have emojis. So like if a kid comes through and sees our packable, our pizza packable, and they like it, they can go on and they can hit the happy face emoji. And so it's more directed towards the elementary kids. But then we can also do other surveys that surveys the parents, that surveys the community. When you talk about a wellness committee, we like to have people in the community. We like to have parents. We like to have staff members. We like to have students. So we get everybody's opinion, and then we can digest that too. So
I was just thinking, with if we go to a food service vendor relationship, that's something quite different than
Yes.
than we've done. And can we get some feedback quicker than just on an annual basis? For the first
We
year.
can survey you anytime you want. Let's say you come to me and you're like, look, I want a survey done, and I want it done this month, you want it next. Absolutely, we can do our own survey. That's no problem at all. That's just the one we do globally. We do it, it's right that way. We can do a survey, we can survey every week if we wanted to. Yeah,
I don't think we want to do that.
yeah. I don't need
And we
it, okay.
can use external like SurveyMonkey
Yeah,
or
all that.
whatever fits for your district. And again, keep in mind, this is like our large, Aramark is endless with our resources that we have. So this is a broad picture for you. But as I said before, just keep in mind, like each partner is different. So just because a grab and go thing may work at, Lebanon, it doesn't mean that it's going to work here. But you try it. That is one thing with us. We're not afraid to try anything. And if it falls flat, then it falls flat and we'll move on. If it's a huge success, then we'll try to add to it every single time. But yeah, that's the big purpose of the survey, because we want to make sure that everybody's happy. Also, another thing too that we've done is we've actually surveyed the staff. How do you like Aramark? How have they treated you? How is their training style? So it doesn't just always affect the students, because, we've got to have everybody's input. again, it goes back to that partnership, so.
Can you expand on your use of technology? I believe in your bid proposal,
Mhm.
you talked about either an app or something. There's the usage is like for marketing or to expand your health and wellness program. I believe there's even a feature where the teachers could order in advance and then grab it and go when it's time for them to go to lunch.
We can even do it with students too. It also depends your time, whatever they can come up, there's a way that they can order online. It comes to us, we have it ready. Even the students like a wrap, let's say, I don't know, like let's say you have a trade school and they're going to it, they can order online, we can have it ready, they pick it up, out the door they go. It just all depends the concept. We also have a really cool one that I'm getting ready to put it on, it's really cool, but it's a computer outside your cafeteria door. And it has the menu and they can hit the item that they want. So they can hit cheeseburger and it tells them the fat grams, it tells them the calories, it tells them all that, it tells them everything. They can go the next day and they can hit it and it tells it serving size. And it's just a menu and it just hits all the items and it has all the nutritional and all the guidelines to it. Everything that they can see before they walk in your cafeteria to pick up what they want. Instead of having all these little things, you know, that they have it outside, they can hit and say, okay, I'm gonna have a cheeseburger and milk, fruit, and a veggie, and it tells them everything right there, the calorie, the fat grams.
And our nursing staffs also use that too for diabetic students, for allergies, for anything like that. So gluten-free. So absolutely. So if you know you have a diabetic student and they choose what they want at the beginning of the day, then our nursing staff can go in there, pull that up, see where our carbs are, and then provide the insulin based on that too. So it's readily available to them. So they can go down and they can look at the actual paper copy of the recipe, but they can also go online and do that too.
So this is you said this was elementary?
It could be K or 12, K through 12.
K
We
through
put little
12.
stickers because I like these.
Yeah.
I like that. I will tell you, we did these
So-
K-12 and my high school did not take them, but our high school took them. You know, my elementary, my middle school kids took the packs. Just all depends on your clientele. It all depends what they eat out in the community too.
I think the one thing with all the options, and obviously we did all cold options today, you know, so please don't think that this is served every single day and every single option is on there. You know, at one of my accounts, I have 3 different sized high schools. One total enrollment's like 378 kids, and we do about 7 different options a day. I have another high school that's 2,200 kids, and we do 12 different options a day. So again, it's that partnership when we go in and talk about choices and everything like that, we modify it to what fits your school
It's
district
not all
best.
cold. Like, we do a wing bar, an Asian bar, a pasta bar, a Mexican bar. We do sub bar, we do deli bar, we do panini. We have panini girls that we put out there. The kids can make Dory make panini. So we did cold because it's a 4-hour drive for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do. This is just some of the grab and go if those kids want to get out the door quick. And we still have your chicken and noodles. Your kids love the Salisbury steak. The Christmas dinner that you do, we don't get rid of that. We still do the Christmas dinner. I think one school district that did a dill burger every year because it was dill pickle day. We still do the dill pickle. That's been 15 years. We still do a dill pickle burger.
Can't get rid of Taco Tuesday.
You can't get on
No.
Taco Tuesday and Pizza Wednesday. Yeah, that stuff doesn't go away. When we come into your community and you say, look, we do this day, fine. We bring some other stuff to you. We have National Pretzel Day, National Cookie Day. We're right there with you. Yeah.
And again, it goes back
Homecoming
to,
dinner, we do those. Yeah.
it goes back to that partnership. And when we talk about the staff that's currently here, you guys are the expertise here at North Posey. So you got to bring those things to us, those little things that mean a lot, like the Taco Tuesday or whatever. Those mean a lot to our community. Those mean a lot to our students. So when we reach out to our staff, what are the things that are non-negotiable, like that we have to put on the menu every time? So we have, again, our resources are absolutely endless with Aramark. So they provide this large spectrum of things for us. And then as we go into school districts, then we narrow it down to what do we need? What do we need to make North Posey successful? So, yeah, don't let things like that scare you away, because we take pride in all our communities that we're in.
Any other questions?
I hope we answered your questions.
Did we answer your questions on that? So, and also in the packets too is my information. Please feel free to reach out to me at any point in time with questions. My email's on there. You know, I'll be happy to answer anything for you guys, and if you need any follow-up don't hesitate to call us. Obviously, Julie, so you can contact with Julie, but, don't hesitate to call us too,
So, yeah, if this was around, we would go, the catering piece though, we wouldn't be required to use.
No.
It's just another option. that
Yeah,
It's just an option, and what it does is it basically keeps the money inside your school district. That's all it does. So if you still like to go to XYZ down the street, absolutely, that's perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah, and that, the catering, I mentioned it because I do a lot at my school district, and it's just because we do plated meals. We do everything, but no, that's not.
What about from a curriculum standpoint, like if kids are, I've heard other schools have like a cafeteria club or like a culinary club in elementary school or stuff like that, is that?
We have a culinary class, and now that we talk to this too, I have a culinary class in the high school, and they come in, they work, they have black and gold days, and they work the black days in the cafeteria because they want to look down the road at working in culinary. So Aramark works with them and shows them how to read a recipe, how to, order, how to be. We work with that culinary group. I don't know if you have a culinary, but we do work with that group. Elementary too, we have chef's club. I do a chef's club, and we come in and we only sit right after school, and we'll spend the day, and we will maybe make ants on the log, little raisins, all those kind of things, and give them recipes. I always give them seed packs that go home, just show them how to make or how to grow tomatoes or how to grow something. Just kind of educate them on growing.
Yeah, so and again, that's North Posey, what works for us. So I've done before an Iron Chef competition. So I've worked with our nutrition and wellness class, and they take on the food service. And so they go through their like micro competitions just between their classes, and then they take on, and we've streamed it live on our website before, so our community can see it. So sky's the limit. At one of my locations, we actually have a food truck, and so our culinary kids come and they help run the food truck, and I think they also run your coffee shop. So we like to get our students involved as much as they want to. Sometimes our students need to make money. So if we have catering events or whatever, we'll hire them to do catering events, or I don't know, we've got which was in the presentation as well, we got a grow-ums.
Just for ACE grow-ums. I'm not allowed to order anymore because I kill everything. So in the school did them, each school has a little garden, and they grow the garden. So like it'll be like a taco garden, or it could be an Italian garden. You grow the tomato and the herbs. Yeah.
So
sometimes individual classrooms want to do that. I have teachers like, look, I just want to get a kit for me for my classroom. We can do that. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
guys.
The
Appreciate your
smoothie
time.
was great. by the way.
Good.
And we'll leave these here, so please help yourself.
Yeah.
So thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I've got 4 smoothies. Oh, which one?
All right, we should have ended on that. All right, our next item on the agenda is patrons' comments. We do have a few people that have signed up tonight. Sarah and Logan Newton, are you guys separate? Are you going together or separate?
I'm speaking.
Okay.
I need to stand up. Okay. Hello, my name is Sarah Newton, and I'm resident here in Poseyville. And I'm here today to address a few concerns that I have with the school board and the proposed industrial wind turbine project. In February, my husband, Logan Newton, read you a letter from the superintendent from Armstrong, Illinois, and how the wind turbines affected his students. I won't reread the letter, but in summary, he was for the project, voted yes, and later regretted it once he saw how it affected his students. Health issues of headaches, jaw pains, and sleepless nights were the top complaints of his students. He was sad to report that they had lost some families due to moving to get away from the turbines. The turbines located in that county are 1.6 megawatts, which is much less than the ones proposed here. Increase in the megawatts increases the noise and the size of the turbines. Their setbacks were 1,200 feet from homes. Currently, the proposed setbacks by E.ON are 100% unsafe for the families of our community. Their setbacks are 1,250 feet from homes and 550 feet from property lines. Putting aside the concerns of noise, vibration, shadow flicker, property right infringements, interference with the Doppler radar, and depreciation of property values, the most alarming issue for our county and the students are the unsafe setback distance from the turbines. Per the employee manual, a 345-foot Vestas 3.0 megawatt turbine has an emergency evacuation zone of 1,640 feet. The turbines for our area will be taller than the V90 model, thus calling for a larger emergency evacuation zone. This puts our residents and our children within the emergency evacuation zone, which is 100% unacceptable. Now, I understand that the school cannot take a position on this project, and I appreciate the fact that you, Dr. Camp, and Mr. Gentile have both said that you'll take a neutral stance. So that leads me to why I'm here right now. I want to discuss the ramifications of taking a donation from the wind company prior to the project being approved or erected. Dr. Camp, you've opened up the donations for our school's projects to the public, and with that, it will only be a matter of time before the wind company will want to make a donation. Any donation taken from Eon prior to the approval of the project will be viewed as support for the project. If you take any money from Eon prior to the project being approved, you are saying you support putting our students' homes inside an emergency evacuation zone. If you take any money from Eon prior to the project being approved, you are saying you support the negative impacts that living too close to wind turbines can cause our children, as voiced by the concerns of the superintendent in Armstrong, Illinois. In essence, I propose that you stand by your previous statement that this school will stay neutral to the industrial wind turbine project and that you will agree to refuse all donations from Eon unless the project is approved, as to not show support of the project at its current dangerous setbacks. I'd just like to ask, has Eon approached the school board at this time about any kind of donations?
They have approached us about donations. We do not have a donation from them as of yet.
Will that be something that is public?
Oh, yes, if we accept the donation, we do it through the board.
I have heard that the superintendent of in Gibson has stated that she is going to take a neutral stance and refuse all donations until the approval of the project. Is that something that you guys would do as well?
No.
And why is that?
We took $45,000 from Duke Energy just a couple of years ago. And we do not have $1 billion AV like Gibson Southern. We have a $484 million AV. We don't have the money to turn down free money. So if they offer us a donation, we will consider it.
I just want to comment that nothing in life is free. And if you take a donation, you're going to put all of our children at risk.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Next is Dennis Kiesel.
I was just here to support Sarah this evening, and I have a lot of the same concerns about the wind turbines. I don't believe that they are good for our community. I don't think that, I just don't think they're good for our community, is the bottom line.
And I mean, just in response, I mean, we have no say whether they come or they don't come. That's strictly from the area plan and the commissioner's level.
Right, I understand that, but if it appears that you are supporting them, that is not good for anyone that's opposed to them as well. I think the neutral stance is the best avenue.
Zach? Sorry.
I guess this kind of goes along with the superintendent's comments about staying neutral and then saying we will take the money. And with the whole process that we've had to bid these projects and to approve the projects, I've been to several board meetings where it was stated that the board would have a chance to approve the projects, when the bids come in, or they'd be able to approve certain projects at this time. But you guys never had a say so how these projects got grouped in the bid. It was a all yes or an all no vote. that was so misleading from the start, I don't even know where to begin. From the very first mention of the projects on the website, it was stated each item as a project, and then at no time were those projects voted on it in that way at all. I thought that was very misleading. I do have some questions about the new food service, like for the students to actually pay their lunch. Would that be dealt with like it is now through like the parents could put so much online and it works with the same kind of account,
Yes,
or
that
would,
harmony system.
would the school system do that, or would that be Aramark kind of take that over?
No, we're
It just-
keeping our
Okay.
harmony system.
And then they mentioned they would be offering different Mexican bars and different things like that, which it would be included new equipment. Is that something they would bring into our facility, or something that we would have to buy?
It would be a combination. It'd be a combination of services. Like they said, they have vast resources in warehouses. They would bring things in, but also we would buy. Just like this past year, we spent a tremendous amount of money buying all our convection ovens and different things, salad bars. And
So I'm assuming that part of that $87,000 would go to reinvest in the okay. And the only thing I want to say is I was pretty disappointed in the last school board meeting. The school board member had questions, and it was pretty obvious it was expected for him to just be quiet, and there was no interest in answering the questions. I want all of you, it was Vince. I hope all of you get your questions answered, whether it takes all night long or not. This is an extreme amount of money for all these projects, and I want all of you to be able to make a vote in confidence, not feel like you got forced in a vote that you don't feel comfortable with. That's all.
well, we had 9 different bid packages.
Can I speak?
Yes.
So I, as a board member, felt like I had the opportunity to vote no at any given time during the process
For individual projects?
for the projects.
For
Yeah, we
individual
did.
projects.
We did group, yeah, if I didn't want a project to get done, I could vote no. Now, that project might have been grouped into something else, but that was a strategy that our architect went with on that.
And I am,
I also take exception in the fact that other board members don't have the opportunity to ask questions, because before every vote, we open it up for questions. And we don't vote until everybody's stated their comments or questions. So I think that's a misleading comment.
well, I wasn't trying to be
On your part.
misleading. My only thing was, and I understand to group bids for, I mean, it is more financial feasible to group things like that. I just wish it was more, instead of finding out what was grouped after the bid, I wish you would have been more open about what projects were being grouped before the bid.
We were following the advice of our architect, and we had 9 bid packages to spend $7.5 million. We've approved 8 of them so far. We still have 1 more to go.
All right, that was the last of the patron comments. We appreciate everybody. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes, the claim docket, and consent items, which have been sent out to everybody previously. We'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes, claim docket, and consent items as listed.
Second.
I'd like to make a comment about that, just to make everybody aware that North Posey is under a textbook adoption. We're approving handbooks, textbooks, and our Chromebook curricular charge. But at this time, North Posey has dropped all fees related to education other than the Chromebook material charge, which will be a big savings in our textbook rental to our parents for the next school year. There will be no fees added to the textbook rental this year. Like for everybody to understand that we cut those fees out.
So we have a motion by Mr. Schmidt and seconded by Mrs. Will to approve approve the minutes, claim docket, consent items as presented. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 3-0. New business, Dr. Montemayor.
At the last meeting, we talked about the bid process as far as, we had 2 bidders for the food service contract, Aramark and Chartwell. Overall, Aramark won, the contract. We're not able to award the contract at this time because you have to have approval from the Department of Education. We've sent our recommendation to the Indiana Department of Education. They've approved that we could enter into a contract with Aramark at this time, if we so choose. In light of the absence of 2 of the board members, and also we need to have them watch the presentation that was here today, just to make sure that everybody has the same information to make an informed decision. I would like to hold off as far as the recommendation, whether we go the traditional food management position versus a vendor, until we meet again. Keep in mind that July 1 starts the contract. Either way, the vendor contract starts July 1 or the food service manager position July 1. We'll need the food service manager regardless of those, but we have an extra contract involved if we go with a vendor. So I'll take any questions that you might have in regards to the bidding process, but other than that, I have no vote, recommendation for a vote.
Air markings.
All right, our next item is the proposal that the board roll over Dr. Camps and Dr. Watermuir's contracts. As follows, Dr. Watermuir's contract to be rolled over 2019, 2020, 2020 to 2021. It's a lot of 20s. Dr. Camps to be rolled over to 2019, 2020, 2020 to 2021, and 21 to 2022. No additional changes to the terms of the current contracts are recommended to be made at this time. And we've completed the evaluation process. So I'll entertain a motion to roll those contracts over as presented.
I'll make a motion to roll the contracts over as presented.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Mrs. Will and seconded by Mr. Schmidt to roll the contracts over as presented. Any other comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 3-0.
The bonds did sell this past week. We will be getting some information coming from Baker Tilly, but we did extremely well. It was a win-win-win situation. We had 5 bidders. We ended up accepting the group from Baker Group out of Oklahoma City. They gave us an interest rate of 2.745%. The next closest bid was 2.753. So we had five bids and all of them were very competitive. We got a little bit lucky because the trend during the time of bidding was the interest rates were dropping, so we caught them at a low level. And when we did the advertising and all the speculation and all the things at the 1028 hearing and all the information that I gave you, we were showing anywhere between 9.8 cents increase up to about 13 cents. This has been cut in half, so we're
Property tax, right? We're moving up on the property tax
yeah,
rate.
on the property tax rate. So it's going to be 7 cents, 7.5 cents is going to be the tax impact. They will be giving us some documents to say the exact amount once they lock everything in and get it done. But the one good thing about doing what we did when we did it, and moving forward when we did it is we caught the interest rate at a low rate. When we provided Standard & Poor's with all of our information, we were able to receive an A++ rating for financial stability, which allowed them to sell the bonds at a premium. And we're probably going to raise somewhere in the neighborhood of about $300,000 extra in construction ability that we weren't expecting to have. So it was a win-win-win. It was a good day for North Posey. And with that being said, we're going to have money that we're going to be able to do a few other things with as we complete these projects. And I'd like to say that it was brought to my attention. I guess I knew this, but I hadn't really thought of it in these terms. And you guys have been on board for 4 years. We built the gyms. We revamped all the HVAC at the school system. We've completely revamped our infrastructure with our internet, going to Meraki switches and updating our servers and everything, and doubling the amount of cameras that we have in the school system, and changing those cameras out to where much better cameras. And now we're doing $7.5 million worth of work that we're going to get a little extra money. And in 4 years, we've increased the tax rate 7.5 cents. We've completed over $15 million worth of work. And I commend the board for your efforts in moving forward on all these projects at every time. Thank you.
And we also redid the library, in the high school, or the media center at the high school, the library at the elementary school. We added the ag room. We redid the lunchroom here at the elementary school. I mean, we've done close to $15 million in projects.
With very minimal tax impact. And that's significant when you only have a $484 million AV.
Very significant. I'd like to just point out, the timing, the bond sales, the financial rating, but also, with George's, George Link, our consultant with BPS on the architecture side, on navigating the whole process of getting the bids and packaging them together to get us the most competitive bids that we could get. I think we all probably went into this thinking that we may have too many items on the list to get done under the restraints of what we had under the 7.5.
I didn't think we could do everything.
I don't think there was any of us that thought we could get them all done. And for the fact that we got them all done, turnkey style, with money left over to do other things, it's a win-win. I don't think we could have asked for anything better than what we got out of that. So I know George isn't here tonight, but I definitely want to publicly say thank him for his advice and expertise, because that was a big part in this overall getting this done.
Dr. Wanamuller, the IREAD.
Yes, we received our iRead results today for the retesters. We had 10 third grade students who retook their iRead test after failing it in the spring. And I'm happy to report that 100% of the retesters passed the test. So that means everyone, all the third graders in the district that took the iRead test.
Awesome.
Can't get better than that.
No, that's pretty solid.
We have a thank you letter from Cooper Moats, a recipient of the Byron Britton, Lila Britton Memorial Scholarship, and he wrote a nice thank you letter, and it's on the board table somewhere now with all the food. I'd like to request that the board have a special meeting the 25th of June, and at 5 p.m. to take another look at Aramark and which way we're going to go, and then also to handle any business that we may have over the summer with resignations and personnel information, hires and resignations, retirements, something like that. So if the board could do that, I'd like to have a special meeting on the 25th at 5 p.m. Our next regular meeting is July the 8th, Monday, in the board office. Executive session will be at 5:30, and regular meeting will be at 6:30. That's all the business I have for tonight.
And so the special meeting will be here
Yes,
as always.
as well.
Is executive
And
session at 5 or after?
if we need an executive session, let's post it for after the meeting. Want to do it before.
I don't see anything that would cause us to have an executive session. So, but if something would come up, I'll let you know and we'll post it that way.
Yeah. So we'll post it for having it afterwards, but if we don't need it, we won't use it. Okay. Okay. You have good news, right? The sharpshooting?
Oh, you want me to talk about it?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. So this was North Posey's first year to do a club track team. It was broken into, and there was about 16 or 17, I can't remember exact numbers, schools throughout the state of Indiana. You competed weekly for 9 weeks, competing against those schools. And then in those 17 teams, there were conferences, broken down into 3 conferences. North Posey had a conference of, I think, 7 or 8 teams. Gibson Southern came in first, but North Posey came in third in the conference. Clay, my son, Clay Willow, came in, he was tied in third for his overall high average in the conference. And then it made him come in, he actually came in 6th in the whole state of Indiana, then with all these kids competing. So he got like an all-state patch for everything. I got to be on the all-state team for that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and then Mater Dei ended up winning the whole thing overall. We actually had the state tournament.
You could
where
let that out.
they compete. They won it last year. It's a building program. You can tell theirs has been going for a while. The other schools are building.
Yeah. I think that's, I mean, there's been a lot of requests for that program
Yes,
the
we
last
had a lot
couple
of
of years.
interest,
A lot of interest in that, so it's good to see that they kind of
Yeah,
hit
they
the
did
ground
well. They
running
did
pretty
well.
well first year, so
Yeah.
good deal.
And a lot of kids were first-time shooters, so they've all improved.
All right. Anybody else have anything for the good of the cause? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Amy, your second.
Yes, I was second.
Have a motion by Mr. Schmidt and seconded by Mrs. Little to adjourn, and we are adjourned. Thank you.